Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So, as you all know, I did a video about Jordan Neely a few days ago, and in that video, I demanded justice for that brother. And for people who are unfamiliar with the situation, I'm going to provide a summary. So, you had this brother, Jordan Neely, an African American man, a young man, I think he was like 30 years old. He was a street performer. He would make money by imitating Michael Jackson. You know, he was one of these impersonators. So he would do dance routines and all that kind of stuff to earn money, to earn a living. And this man ended up homeless. He's been through a lot in his life. And so he went onto the subway, I think it was about a week ago, and he was ranting about being thirsty, being hungry, complaining about his situation. And again, he was a homeless man. And so he was shouting at passengers. And as far as I know, from the information that I've seen in the articles that I've read, there's no indication that he actually physically assaulted anyone. Earlier reports said that he didn't make any kind of threats towards anyone, but I saw another report where somebody said that he allegedly made some threats. So while he was ranting and raving on the subway, out of frustration because of his circumstances as a homeless, hungry man, struggling in life, and also there were reports that he was mentally ill as well. So while he was ranting, this 24-year-old former Marine by the name of Daniel Penny proceeded to put this brother in a chokehold, hold him down, and actually wrap his legs around his brother as well, choking him to death. And you had these two other people who were assisting Daniel Penny. Now, right after this incident, first of all, before I go to that, this incident was captured on videotape. It's been viewed. Many people have seen the video, and people were outraged when they saw the video. And despite the fact that you had all these people watching this brother being choked to death, the brother was choked to death, he died. Despite all of that, the DA did not immediately bring charges against this man. They did not immediately arrest him. They said that they needed to conduct an investigation. So this man was basically let go, without any charges at the time, and he was living his best life. And then, you had people protesting, demanding justice for Jordan Neely. And, you had the mayor issue some lukewarm statement, some lame statement, not really demanding justice for this brother. But later, on Friday, this past Friday, charges were filed against Daniel Penny. He's been charged with second-degree manslaughter, and he faces a potential maximum sentence of 15 years in jail. Now, shortly after he was arrested, he posted his bond of $100,000, and the prosecutor said that Jordan Neely should be alive today. And then on top of all of that, on top of just posting his bail and, posting his bond and getting out from jail, there have been people fundraising for this man, Daniel Penny. Here you had this white man kill a homeless black man, and you have people actually raising money for the killer, raising money for this man that essentially lynched a black man in front of all these people. They're trying to label this killer as some kind of hero or something. So you had these people raising funds for him. And from what I understand, this matter still has to go before the grand jury, according to this article that I read in the New York Times. But that's the situation, so people have raised over $370,000 for this killer, Daniel Penny. They view him as some kind of heroic figure or something. They are defending him. And this morning I was watching this video. Actually, I think it was this afternoon. I was watching this video from, a YouTuber that I regularly follow, the brother Pinhead Blackson. I encourage y'all to check out his channel if you're not familiar with him. I'll post a link in the comments or in the description to this video when I get a chance. But basically, Pinhead was posted, video clips from this African American who basically is defending this killer. This African American man who goes by the name of Officer Tatum is actually defending this killer and actually trying to raise funds for this killer. And as I was listening to that and watching those clips of this guy basically defending someone who killed a young black man, I just thought about how sick some of our people are, how far some of our people will go to please the white man. I mean, this guy, his whole channel is built around placating and pandering to white racists, right-wing, Republicans. That's what his channel is dedicated to, pandering to racists. This man went so far as to say that the only reason why Daniel Penny was charged was because he's white. This is absolutely absurd. It's absolutely ridiculous. And anybody should be able to see through the charade and see that this is a clear example of someone pandering to white supremacists. This is, an example of a modern day step and fetch it, a modern day sellout doing everything that he can to please his white master, his white daddy. And it's just a shame, man, because here you have a situation where a young black man lost his life. And instead of demanding justice for this black man, you have people like this guy actually thinking that the killer is the one that's being wronged, actually thinking that the killer is some kind of hero. And, that just shows like how some of our people suffer from Stockholm syndrome. They identify with their captor, they identify with their oppressor, so much so that they will defend their oppressor, so much so that they will help raise money for a man who literally killed a black man. And this man, as I pointed out in the article, had already raised $370,000. But yet and still, you got people like this bootlicking, butt-kissing, buck-dancing Negro on here still trying to raise money for someone that killed a black man, even though that this man has already raised all kinds of funds, even though this man is good. I've never seen, this guy have a fundraiser for anybody black. And correct me if I'm wrong, I've never seen him do one fundraiser for anybody black that's charged with anything. I've never seen him do one fundraiser for any black family that's lost a loved one to police brutality or to white vigilantism. And this is a prime example of white vigilantism. I've never seen this guy do that, defend or raise funds for black people in those situations where they're facing charges or where they have been killed at the hands of a white supremacist. But here you have this buck dancing, bootlicking Negro on here raising funds for a man that already has sufficient funds, or for a man who's already out of jail, for a man who already has all this support behind him. And it's an absolute disgrace, So anyway, getting back